Hello everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Sequin Girly Creates, where I'm going to talk to you all about the Friday Pattern Company pogonip pullover, and this is the results of the pogonip party that's happened for February. So if that's something you'd like to see, stick around. Well everybody, it's been a fun month. February has felt very short compared to January, which in a way is good, but in a way is like, oh my goodness, when I was halfway through, I'd only just started, but I'm recording this the night before it's the 29th of February. So we've done it. So what I'm going to show is, I'm going to get changed several times, is I'm going to show you the pogonips I've made, but also give you some tips and talk to you about some future ideas, because obviously it's not the only thing I've been doing during February, and I've got other ideas of what to come. So the first thing I'm going to do is swap into my toile that I made, and we'll talk about that one first. So I have on my toile, which is made from fabric that I bought from Barry's when I went on the Birmingham trip with Christine, and I was there with Bex and Adele. So I'm just going to zoom out so I can show you it a bit more. So what I'm going to do is stand up. I decided not to put the casing where you put elastic in, but to actually put black rib on the bottom. And I like that because you can tuck it under like that, or you can have it visible. I did the welt pockets. Da-da, da-da. I haven't yet put poppers on here because I want to get some black press poppers, and so they're not on yet, and I'm undecided about my sleeves. I purposely didn't line these up, and I also made sure on the collar that I cut it so that this was going around the collar, because on the inside it's white. I am a bit nervous about having a white one, particularly around the neck, but do you know what, with this, because it's cotton, I could dye it if I'm not happy with it, but I'm really happy with this as a toile. It's definitely wearable. So this fabric, just so you can see the inside, is a looped back French terry. It's got absolute minimal stretch in it, but it's perfect for making the pogonip with, because it's got enough structure like here around the collar that it's got structure but softness to it. I did not put any interfacing on any pieces, so I'll show you the welt pocket. I used some different fabric I had for the pocket bag. The inside is lined so that you can't see the pocket bag, which is a nice technique. I didn't put the packable pocket on the back because it's just not for it's just not for me. Sorry, knocking over the light. Okay, so things that I learned from doing this is it was a good size for me. So this is the medium, and I chose to sew this one because I felt that there was room to be able to put things underneath, but not too roomy. I like the position of the welt pockets. I didn't lengthen it, and although it says it's a crop style, for someone like myself who's actually 5'2", it's not that cropped, so that was fine. So I'll show you again where it comes to on me. So there's my natural waist, and it comes down, so that's an absolutely fine length for me. So really liked this. Tips I would give you are, if you've never done a welt pocket, make a practice on a stable piece of fabric first. Just do one. The instruction video for the welt pocket for this is brilliant, and I've watched it every time I've done the welt pocket so far. And the sew along that's done by Chelsea of Friday Pattern Company to sew the whole thing, brilliant as well. The rest of it, once you made it once, you don't really need the video, I would say. It all makes sense. And it is an interesting pattern. So let me put on my second one. Okay, so here is my second one that has poppers on. I haven't decided yet if I want a third popper. So this one, let me stand up, welt pockets again. I did them in the matching there and the pocket in there as well. I put ribbing for the cuffs and ribbing around the bottom, and I really like that because it really has that nice bagging, and I'll explain why I went for that in a minute. And then I've got the prim poppers. They're always a bit stiff the first few times you do them, so I can easily pop it open, but I will probably, I think, put a third popper on. And I did them just in an orange so that they go perfectly with that design. So this is a denim with a bit of stretch in it that I found at the Oxfam Superstore and was bargain. This is a fabric I bought from Funky Moon Fabrics, which is in Cardigan, yeah, in Wales, and you can buy online for them. This is a Little Johnny fabric, and I interface the outer part of the collar, and I interfaced the welt pockets, these parts as well. I'm not a big fan of interfacing for any of you who are my existing viewers, so I didn't want it on the inside because that means the inside doesn't make that noise. And I know I need to keep looking for good interfacing, but what I had for this project, I am really happy with how this one turned out. Wasn't what I was originally planning to do for my second pogo knit, but actually I suddenly thought that having a denim one where you could wear a jumper underneath, and in the spring having this to like break the wind, like windbreaker type thing, and I really loved this colour against this because I felt that this broke up the blue. I had some baby cord which was like a grey blue animal print, but when I held it against it the blues didn't work. This all works beautifully, these colours together, so I'm really happy. And I like the softness of this around my neck, not the stiffness of the denim. I decided to go for cuffing because the denim can be quite stiff, but the way it's like blouson out, that is really nice. And I feel that this is living out my 80s dreams, the way this sits over it. And I did the inside in that fabric as well, so there's joy on the inside, and that's very nice the way you've got that so you can't see the pocket bags. So things I learned from this one, for softer fabrics, definitely need interfacing in it. For this denim, I have had blue hands when working with it, and I'm really sure I have washed it, but I'm going to have to put colour catchers in because otherwise that blue is going to get on here. So that was a challenge. It's sewed up really nicely in the denim. It's given it a really nice shape, and a very different shape from the French Terrier. I hope you can sort of see that. And I really like this contrast cuffing against it. I know the original design is to do like the casing with the elastic in, but I like that feeling. I'm not a big fan of the feeling of elastic around my wrists, and I really like the way it blousons the bottom in. It's a bit like a bomber jacket. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's got really retro feel. For me, I love the 80s. This feels very 80s to me. What did I learn from making this one? That even though I'd done the welt pockets 1, 2, 3 times by the time I made this one, if you count each welt pocket, I still made a slight error. But let's see if you can even see. I think it's, where is it? It's the fact that I'm having to search it. It's down there. But do you know what? No one is going to get that close to my pocket that it matters. It's not going to ruin the joy of this. And do you know what? I'm probably just going to put a little bit of fabric glue on it. Because it was blue denim, my blue fabric marking pen wasn't going to show up on here. But I realised that where you draw the line for the welt pocket, I just did it in Sharpie because you cut it and it folds inside, so no one will ever see it, because you'll never know and you'll never see it. The pocket bags, Chelsea in her video shows sticking a sticker on so you know which is the front and the back. I just wrote with my fabric pen on them, because again, the pocket bag's inside, no one's ever going to see it. So sometimes these pens don't wash off, it doesn't matter, it's on the inside. And my fabric pen is luckily blue, so it won't even notice. So tips, think about using cuffing, and don't worry about drawing the line, the Sharpie, in a pen, drawing the welt pocket line with like a Sharpie or something, because no one will ever know. Right, let me pick on the third one. Okay, you don't often see me in this colour fabric, so you're probably a bit like, whoa! This one is not officially for me, but I've been able to put it on so I can show you. So the other two are made in a medium. This is in a small. I haven't done the cuffing on the bottom yet. I did lengthen it. So you can see in a small, I probably couldn't fit anything else underneath, but it fits. So depending on what sort of fit you want, you could vary, because the finish thing is designed to go over other things, but you could easily do it in a smaller size. So I haven't finished the cuffs and the waistband because the person I'm making this for will need to choose. And also the same with the poppers. So what did I learn from this? I learned that you can vary the size depending on what sort of fit you want, and this wouldn't have the blues on effect, but it's quite a nice fit. This is a teddy Sherpa or something from Fabric Godmother, but it is super stretchy. So I sewed one in a stable French terry, one in a denim with woven fabric, and now I've sewn one in a fleece with stretch. So I have tried out the different fabrics. Whew, this was a pain because it was shed all the time. So I actually did all of the main seams on the overlocker. Because I didn't put the welt pocket on, Because I didn't put the welt pocket on, I didn't need to do the inside bit, so that's reduced bulk. And I actually overlocked this join, because obviously you can see it, which when you've got the inside piece on, you wouldn't see that. So that, because you've got double there, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces to get through. My overlocker managed it. It was not a fan of that many pieces, but I wanted to overlock it to prevent the shedding. So I used a sewing machine to stitch in the ditch around here and around the collar. I used a sewing machine to stitch in the ditch down. No interfacing on this or anything at all. And as long as I was careful not to stretch as I was sewing, it's been okay. I would say possibly stay stitch the neckline if you're worried about that with a stretchy fabric like this. This is so warm now, I don't want to take it off. I think this colour is the least sort of me colour. I don't think it makes me sing in the way that others do. Thoughts I've had on the pogonip pullover. One, it is a great fabric for being able to sew scraps, because you've got 2 front pieces here, a front piece here, back piece and 2 sleeves. So you could easily do it in a combination of like sweatshirting scraps. It is, and of course the collar and the front pieces, so it would be easy to put lots of like tonal greens or reds or mixtures together. The other thing I think about it is that it's one of the few patterns I've seen where you can sew it in everything from a ripstop through to a quilted fabric. That's a pretty versatile pattern to have. It's really easy to person it by the type of cuff and the base of the jumper, to whether you pull it in or leave it straight. The fact that you've got these 2 plackets and collars mean it's really easy. I nearly did black ones on this, but I decided these were so soft, to put contrast. So if you want to wear a colour that you know is not such a great colour on me, for me, if this was for me, I would make the placket in black, because it would immediately create contrast for me. I did some searching on hacking. You can hack the length for definite, and I saw somebody hacked it by doing a placket all the way down the front into like a bomber jacket. I wanted to do one of those to show you in time. I didn't quite manage it, but I'm definitely going to do that. I think it could be a really nice bomber jacket. You could even still put the welt pockets in. You just cut the piece down the front that's cut on the fold, and you could then put the placket all the way down with whatever cuffing you want on the bottom, and then the placket to encase it. The other thing I worked out whilst lying in bed the other day was you could easily do a fully lined version. Now, when I made the hoodie, like big snuggly jumper for my other half for Christmas, I found a video that showed you how to do the lining and even do the cuff so that there was no exposed seam. You could definitely use the process I saw in that to fully line it, and then you could make it reversible because it's completely hidden and it's all turned through a hole which you stitch up. And at the bottom, if you wanted to then do like an elastic or a cuffing around the bottom, you could easily do the thing like the collar where you stitch it, fold it around and have the edge stitched in. So it's definitely something I would like to try, is making a reversible one. And again, I wish I'd had time. I mean, if I didn't work full time, I could do all these ideas I had. If anyone has seen how to do a reversible one, I'd love to see. So let's think. So you've got any fabric to within reason, particularly just being aware of like your welt, but you don't have to do a welt pocket. You could do a side seam or a kangaroo or no pocket. Packable pocket or not on the back. Make it into a jacket, lengthen it into a longer jumper, and also make a reversible one. You can definitely line it, but making it reversible would be amazing. So what's my verdict on taking part in the pogonip party? My verdict is that if it hadn't been for Christine organising this, I probably would have got to November without sewing a welt pocket. But because Christine is my lovely friend, I didn't want to let her down, and that motivated me to sew a pattern with things in that made me go, ooh! But that's why I love a sewing challenge when I'm in the right mood, because they do push me to do things that I wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. And it's like a friendly accountability. I absolutely know that if I'd messaged Christine and said, Christine, I'm not going to manage this in time, she'd have been fine about it. You'd have all been fine about it. I could put it up a day, a week, a month, whatever later. But I love the accountability in a friendly way of pushing me to do things. It's not a pattern that I would have probably done without Christine doing the pogonip party. I would have definitely avoided a welt, but I pushed through it and I ended up making 2 whole tops with welt pockets on. Not sure how many more welts I'm going to do in my life. So I've had a great time doing it. I'd love to know if you've made a pogonip for the pogonip party. I will be scrolling Instagram tomorrow having a look at everybody's. As a jumper, it's a great jumper. It's really versatile because it can definitely go into coat and jacket territory. And I think the versatility of what it can be sewn in is a huge plus for me. So I am a pogonip convert for sure. And I hope you enjoy watching all the other vlogs. I'd love to say I know all the names of everybody, but I don't. But I'm pretty sure if you search hashtag pogonip party, you'll be able to find everybody. And I'm pretty sure Christine has a list of them all too. Catch you again very soon. Bye.